So we know that change can feel a little bit overwhelming, especially from a carer's point of view. How do you encourage people to make sustainable changes without perfection or pressure?
Yeah, great question. As I alluded to earlier, one of the first sentences I will tell a new client is, I don't expect perfection. We're going to go at your pace. We're going to focus on the initially, the bits that I've managed to work out are most important to you, but also the bits that are easiest for you to enact immediately. So if somebody wants to come in and kind of throw the kitchen sink at their brain health, that's fine. I'll list off a great big menu of to-dos. Otherwise, we go at the client's pace, slowly but surely. The quick wins first, because they give you a bit of a sense of achievement and motivation, and rightly so. Change is hard, so you need those little kind of uplifting, uplifts.
Yeah.
So yes, change slowly but surely within a client's preferences and their parameters as well. Not everybody can go for an idyllic walk in nature for 20 minutes a day and meditate. Not everybody can do that. So we sideline that and we focus on something else instead.
Yeah, like you said, those little quick wins, it's like that quick dopamine hit of achievement, isn't it? If you can just change one
The
thing,
word absolutely right.
one small habit change, and then we can stack from
Yeah.
there, can't we? Yeah, I like that.
And it's cumulative as well.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's compound effect, isn't it? Are there any
Yeah.
common mistakes that you see families making when they're trying to do the right thing nutritionally?
Trying to do everything at once.
Yeah.
And then it's like a New Year's resolution, making hundreds and then failing on a few bits within a couple of weeks, and then thinking, oh, well, I may as well give up.
Yeah.
I would say because this, it needs fairly quick action. I'm not going to lie. It's not something that you can delay and expect, results to then happen quickly. You do need to act quickly, but if you try and do everything at once, you will almost inevitably come up against barriers. You will not achieve what you want, or you will not notice, differences as immediately as you want. And then you would just think, oh, this isn't working, and you will give up on everything. It doesn't
Mhm.
work like that. So I would say, don't be over ambitious. The enthusiasm, I totally understand. And almost the desperation is a big word, but you desperately want to try and slow the effects. You want your brain span to go on. You want your quality of life to go on. But the point of working as a nutritionist is that I can support you in a measurable and sustainable way, rather than just going for it. Yes, funnily enough, somebody who included dark green leafy vegetables to a far greater extent than they did. And this is not to say that they had a terrible diet before, but I was talking to them about what, again, one of the dietary pillars of the keto flex is an emphasis on dark green leafy vegetables. As the predominant carbohydrate in the diet. We don't want the
Mhm.
refined sugars, but complex carbohydrates like the vegetables and then the colorful berries. They are nutrient rich, and there is a particular set of nutrients in these food types which they said, oh, I don't have to write things down anymore. So they weren't necessarily in the stages of dementia, but they were
Yeah.
noticing faltering memory.
Yeah.
And it could have been down to a number of things, but suddenly I introduced them to emphasizing beneficial fats and
Mhm.
including, mountains of these dark green leafy vegetables. And that was their feedback. And it was the first time I actually thought, oh my gosh, this is the difference to this client, that just changing the emphasis and the proportions of their diet is making. And they were just about to become a grandmother. They were
Oh.
a wife and a mother, and they were planning for their longevity, and they needed their brain span to be a priority so they could be present and enjoy the experiences, both for them and their husband, their child, and their grandchild.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of perspective shifting, or dietary shifting, I should say, the gratitude was palpable. It was great. And just by
Yeah.
adding vegetables into their diet.
We just need to understand the benefit of it is absolutely massive in all
Yeah.
areas of life. Yeah, all
It's
areas of
it's
life.
ripple effect. It's a real ripple effect
Absolutely.
area.
Yeah, absolutely.